Good evening, viewers, and welcome to tonight's episode of Out and About. In this week's show, we take you to Oxford Town Hall, where EPG Events held a very special award ceremony to honour the members of the Indian Education Fraternity.
This is one of its kind which have been organized, especially focusing towards India. Okay, this is a part of a larger event, and it's a one-week event called the India Week, and this is totally focused on education. And what we're trying to do is to showcase to the world that it's not just about exporting education, importing education into UK, but also exporting education to India. So it's a two-way. We are trying to create a two-way traffic between India and the UK, which has never happened. There's a less number of people going out into India for education, but whereas a lot of over 140,000 children are coming from India for studying in UK, but it can also be turned the other way around, because India is doing exceptionally well. And education is a sector which India is totally focusing upon.
Yes, well, first you can see that in terms of an event, this is wonderful. The location is beautiful, and if you could only see this, it's a gorgeous hall. But what is important is we know among the major economies, India is the fastest growing at the moment, and Britain sadly is the slowest growing. And I hope that we in Britain can learn a lot more from India and achieve a little bit of the success of India.
You're very welcome here to Oxford today. It's wonderful to have you all here in our beautiful town hall and in our beautiful county, because the city is governed by the Lord Mayor, and the wider county of Oxfordshire is where I am the chair. So at the moment I'm the main representative from Oxfordshire County Council, and I'm so happy to be here this evening. It's really important to build better and better links between India and the UK, and that's why I'm happy to be here this evening, and I hope you will enjoy your stay in our beautiful city.
Welcome to the first annual Education Leaders Awards. I would like to now request Pratik Dattani, Director of EPG, to come on stage and give his welcome speech.
I have to start with a confession. When I'm at august gatherings like this, I always feel like a bit of a fraud. And the reason is I did an undergraduate degree and then decided it was too expensive to do a master's, and I needed to pay off my student loan, so I went and got a job in an investment bank, and then never bothered to study again. And when I'm in a room full of people with masters, PhDs, tenure, fellowships, etc., I always find like I'm a bit of a fraud. So I'm very glad actually that all of you have, despite seeing that on the EPG website, despite seeing that from any emails you got from me, you've still turned up. Thank you all very much for that. Tonight we're celebrating the best of the higher education sector from India. We have private sector universities and skill development institutions from all across India that we're honouring at the world's best university, the University of Oxford, and we're in this prestigious location of Oxford Town Hall. As UK and India discuss a free trade agreement, one of the essential components of it is closer education ties. More than 120,000 students from India come to the UK every year to study. That figure has gone up very significantly since before COVID. And the conference earlier on today and the dinner this evening are a way of us celebrating the best of India and the best of the UK in terms of collaborations.
Dear honoured guests and esteemed faculty members and distinguished awardees, it is my pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of WBR Corp to this prestigious event, where we celebrate the exceptional achievements of some of the brightest minds in the field of education. Today we have gathered here to recognize the hard work, dedication and outstanding accomplishment of our education leaders. May this is the just beginning of many more success in your future endeavor. I hope you will enjoy your evening. Thank you so much. I am Sanjay. I am chairman of World Brand Review Corporation that we call WBR Corporation. We have very strong presence in London and in India. And you will be very glad to know that recently we have got Guinness World Record to done 300 events in a row. And today we are at Oxford Hall and we are doing education conference, and in which we have invited all the major universities of India, and in fact all the local University of London had participated in this event. And today we are doing this award function in Oxford Town Hall, and in which we have got around 750 nominations. Out of this we have selected only 15 institutes for this award. My message is for the Indian universities. Now this is time to go global, because I have seen Indian universities and they are doing really a very wonderful work. They have very talented students and they have very good placement records also. And there are so many companies from Europe or from US, they are coming to India just to hire a good manager or like good executive. So my message is that now it's time to go global, and we should look for some kind of international tie-up with some of the big universities around the world.
Good evening. Thank you everybody for coming to Education Leaders Award. It's so nice to see so many educationalists across UK and India coming together. Thank you WBR Corp and ISDC for making this happen and bringing us together today. So Proctorio started in 2013 as probably all of you know, as a company that wanted to provide high integrity education for learners across the globe. So we are looking forward to expanding our business in India. I mean, such a great country with diverse culture and tradition and languages. I mean, personally, I believe that technology can improve the way that we teach and learn, especially providing high-quality education in rural areas or focusing on skill-based training, such as vocabulary training. So we can make our youth the agents of change. So it is a great honor being here today in the University of Oxford, in the heart of the University of Oxford, Temple of Education, and welcome everybody again, and congratulations to all of the award winners. Thank you.
It's my great pleasure to introduce tonight's keynote speaker, somebody who I've got to know rather well these past few days, and I've come to admire. Namit Zafari, please.
Good evening, education sector leaders, academic colleagues, students and friends. Thank you so much for the kind invitation to speak to you today. It's an honor to speak on such an important stage, and I hope I can use this opportunity today to convey something of value. Let me begin by stating what I think and say in my own native language about the importance of what we share in common, education. Pohana Ranada. This is the Pashto saying that education is light. But there is more. That light does not exist only for its own sake. It has the power to make a better society in the world. Let me also quote the first black president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela, which his quote gives me an energy and hope for a brighter future. He said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Finally, we must stand firm for what we treasure. If your cause is education, be a warrior. When you see in a mirror, see someone who fights and wins. We should never give up, never put down our pens and books. We must always stand up, insist on the most basics of rights. After 6 hard years of medical studies, my sister and her fellow trainee Afghan doctors have been barred from sitting exit exams that would allow them to complete their final milestones in their medical training. But like Afghan girls, they have not been surrendered, neither can we. Education is light. Let it shine on everyone in every corner of the world, especially those who long for it to be restored and who long to learn. Our inspiration and those who owe an obligation. Thank you very much for listening to me.
The award ceremony continues, but after this very short break.